Hey there YouTube, this is JV111 here, and welcome back to another modded Minecraft Spotlight. This mod that we're going to be doing today is a little bit special, brings a little bit of nostalgia back into the world of 1.6.4 modded Minecraft, and it is made by the famous ChickenBones and Mr_TJP. Yes, that's right, this mod is Project Red. It adds quite it basically adds everything you know and love from the original Red Power 2, integrates into Forge, and integrates it into Forge MultiPart. It also adds some new interesting items that they've developed for themselves to make this mod stand out. When you do end up downloading the mod, all the information for the mod will be down in the description. You need to note that there is 4 parts for Project Red. Depending on your scenario, I would recommend downloading all 4 parts so you get the full experience of Project Red. But if you only need bits and pieces, there are Project Red Base, Project Red Integration, Project Red World, which is all the world gen I would assume, and Project Red Compact. And just to let you guys know, you do not have to download Forge MultiPart if you plan on using Project Red. It'll do it for you, which is, perfect. So, without further ado, let's just get right on into it. So first, we're going to do a little bit of world gen. So, we get the usual suspects. We got some ruby, we got some sapphires, and we got some peridot. And, hey, look what this is. Marble and basalt. These are generated normally in world gen. Basalt is found in very specific areas. There is a 1 in 16 chance per chunk, so long as a lava lake is within that chunk, to spawn a volcano, and it won't be like the original really flat volcanoes that we all know from Red Power 2, or the occasional really tall ones. The only really tall and a little bit skinny. You might find some large ones. I'm not 100% on that form of world gen. I haven't seen any yet. So from what I've been able to ascertain, it's just a little bit tall, a little skinny, and covered in basalt, and some of these bad boys, if I remember correctly. Also, one thing to note, basalt is actually fairly strong in its durability to explosion, so it's really good for creeper traps. And as with any good RP2, or anything that we recall from RP2, we have the good old-fashioned gem tools. Just note that these gem tools do have a similar durability as diamond, but they cannot mine obsidian. So it's a good little addition to the mod, and it gives you an additional thing to use if you don't want to use up all your metals and whatnot. Also brings back the sickles, which, if you recall from the recipe, is simply 3 of any particular material, this one being wood, in the following pattern, and a stick on the side. If you don't know how to make sticks, well, go punch trees. Also, it also brings in 4 new saws to go alongside the already existent saws. So let's just take a look. Yeah, it already brings in the stone, the iron, and the diamond saw, and now we have the golden saw, ruby saw, sapphire saw, and peridot saw. All of various different durabilities, and I'm assuming that these also work similar to the diamond saw, except they probably wouldn't be able to saw mode or turn obsidian into panels. Actually, you know what? Let's test that out. Let's get ourselves some obsidian, and we get ourselves a peridot saw. Let's get me a crafting bench. Bing. And turn this back to day. Crafting bench. Peridot. Obsidian. Okay, so that is correct in that assumption. And if I were to get a diamond saw, just for comparative sake. Yes. So, like their tool counterparts, the saws can't do anything to obsidian. So that's a good, I think that's a good cross feature that I enjoy. So that's pretty much all there is for this bit. Now here's some interesting things. We get some trees. But you notice these trees are really interestingly colored. That's because these are stain trees. And if the stain trees, let's just get them into NEI, you can actually use the saplings, if it wants to show me. Well, you can use these saplings as dyes for Project Red materials. So let's say, for example, you wanted to dye specific items within Project Red. Like when we get to it, I'll show you more. These can go instead of normal dyes, so you can actually save materials if you have a fairly efficient tree farm and have constant dyes. But from what I've been noticing, it's only very specific to Project Red. Well, then again, we can test. I probably shouldn't kill that crafting bench. Leather cap, purple. Yeah, see, if I were to get, for example, another dye, let's go purple dye, I can now dye the leather cap. So these will only work for Project Red materials. Keep that crafting bench on me because I think I'm going to need it a few more times. So that's pretty cool. Neat trees that it adds. So now we're going to move on from the... Oh, one more thing before I forget. These tools are enchantable. You can enchant these. Up to you if you want to do so. Or they can just be your junk tools, the tools that you need to use to get the job done, like your work tools. But yeah, so there it's all the uh, world gen. Now we're going to get on to some interesting things. The lights. All the lights. All the pretty, pretty lights that we used to have that we all love. So these are all the lights that it adds. Every single color. And here's how you make them. So these first are just the standard normal and inverted lamps. See, white lamp, and here's how you make it. You need 2 of any color lumar, and the lumar is made in the following fashion, or using the actual trees. See, there you go. There's a tree, sapling. Requires some redstone and some glass panels, and you can make all these colors. Note, when you make them using a piece of redstone, you get the standard lamp. When on the flip side, here are all the inverted lamps, and it's the same recipe as the standard lamp, but you add a redstone torch. So you're able to then get have one that's constantly turned on. So this might be a little bit better for a like a sensor or something, in which you know this is constantly on, and when this flips and turns off, something's going on. So that's pretty neat. So there's all kinds of colors. You go from the standard to the really neon bright colors. Hurt your eyes. Look away. No. Um, so that's just normal lamps. Now we got these lanterns. Oh, these lanterns are so cool, man. Uh, you need to hang them off of something. They can't free. Wait. Wait. Let's test. I was having a hard time doing this earlier, but we'll try this out right now. Bing, bing. Yes, they must be hanging in order for them to function properly. So you need to have one hanging all up off of a block from the function, but you can put them on posts, give yourself kind of like a nice little street lamp kind of thing, or other areas that require a little bit of just a little lamp. Uh, these will function off of a redstone signal, so you can turn them on and off using redstone or red power, and we'll get into that a little bit later. And they're pretty simple to make. All it requires is a circuit plate, and to make the circuit plate, it's the same way as the old stone wafer. You smelt some stone, and you get 2 circuit plates. So you need 4 of those, a piece of lumar, 2 glass panes, a gold nugget, and a redstone for the normal, or a redstone torch. And I forgot the gold nugget in this recipe, but there is a gold nugget supposed to be here. See? Gold nugget. Alright, and let's go back to... Well, actually, let's turn this nighttime because I want to show that these things actually do light up. So I'll leave that. Next, we're going to get onto the cage lamps. Now, these are a little bit, they can be a little bit iron heavy, but they look really cool for like an industrial area kind of thing, like a warning light or something. They're really nice. This is the normal and the inverted, and the way you make them is in this chest. You get some iron bars, a conductive plate, which is a circuit, and a piece of redstone, the white lumar, and 2 gold nuggets for these ones. And in retrospect, the inverted ones require what's known as a cathode, which requires a circuit plate and a redstone torch, and the same standard for the cage lamps. These look so pretty. This needs to be in vanilla Minecraft ASAP, please. So next we're just gonna go on to these little bad boys. I forgot what they're called actually. A fixture. So if you want that kind of industrial look and whatnot, for this is more factory. This is more like office. There's things I need to die. So let's go to noon. Turn my. Let's set some things down. There we go. He's gonna die all the time. I'm just gonna turn him off. Sound off. Till he's good and dead. Oh, also if you notice that in the old Red Power 2, oh, he's finally gone. I'll put my sound back off. Let's turn the music off. It's like music. You'll notice in the old Red Power 2, if you walk on some of these, it gets a little bit buggy, like y'all funky and whatnot. Here, real simple. I can walk, no issue. So for the fixtures, how you make them? Pretty easy, actually. Surprisingly such. Right fixtures are 5 glass panes, a piece of lumar, 2 circuit plates, and a conductive plate for the standard, and a cathode, if you recall from the iron lamps, or the cage lamps. The cathode is made with a circuit plate and a piece of, or a redstone torch. So this is what we recall from old Red Power. I think these lamps are a little bit new, or they're different in comparison. But now these things on front of these white lamps, they kind of look like stained stone buttons. But look a little closely when I press this. They actually glow for like half a second. Because these things are actually illuminate. These things actually illuminate. They actually produce a little bit of light. And I'll show you that in just 1 second. Button. Get an orange Lumar button and a crafting bench. Use that as our thing, and see? They light up. So you can have different colored lights for buttons. So cool. How you make them? They're pretty simple to make. The button and 2 pieces of Lumar, and it nets you one of these neat little buttons. Really cool. So that's really it for the lights and whatnot. Now we're going to get into some more of the functionality of Project Red from what we all recall from the older version of RP2. First, we're going to add, there's some new things that get added. First is this wire debugger, which we're going to get into a little bit more, but here's the standard recipe. To make red alloy, you need iron compound in a smelter, and you need iron and some redstone. So the original way we used to make these things, and I'm going to he was getting annoying. And he is also getting annoying. There we go. Here. Alright. And you need a screwdriver. Unfortunately, in this version, or this current version that I'm aware of, there is no sonic screwdriver. I know, it's a shame. There's also no alloy smelting. Alloys are made now through normal smelting mechanics. We'll I'm not really going to get into that too much. That's more for when we start, if you want to start looking into the actual logistics of Red Power. I'm going to talk a little bit of logistics of, not Red Power, sorry, Project Red. Um, I'll talk about a little bit of logistics. I won't really go into super detail because there's actually some of the gates I don't know what they do. I know of a few. I've used probably 4 or 5 from the original Red Power, so you guys get to play around and figure out what they do. But yeah, here's a screwdriver. This lapis lazuli can be replaced with the blue stained saplings, so that's always cool. And red alloy and the white insulated wool cable. So let's start playing around with these for a bit, shall we? And let's get ourselves a button, and let's get ourselves a lamp, and let's get ourselves. Do we need anything else? Yeah, normal block. All right, so normal block, lamp, alloy wire, 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 button, press. Real simple. And here's the cool thing with this wire debugger. The way this cable currently works is you can transmit a signal up to 255 blocks in either direction, which is insane for redstone. You won't even be able to. You have to load that many chunks. It's about what? It's a good number of chunks in any direction to load to get this redstone signal to go all the way that way. But the cool thing about this wire debugger is this. It tells you where the signal is at that point. See, right now it's 0, 0. Right now it's 0, 0. This right here is considered a block. So basically if I do that and I go here, oh, no, or I go, let's turn that into a lever actually. If, it gives me a bloody lever. You can see that it's already traveled, what is this? 255, 249. Traveled about 6 blocks in this length of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a little off. It's a little off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I guess it just counts like this, any intersection. But yeah, so you can actually see how far you're traveling, so you know where you need to add either repeaters or any other of the gates over here that we'll talk about a little bit later, to continue your signal or do some other signals. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is the following, which is the white insulated cable. Now you notice that insulated cable and uninsulated cable will connect based off of, or sorry, these are wires. How about I write wire right, please? Fingers. So you notice that these will in fact connect. However, different colored wires won't, which is a fairly I like this feature. It allows you to do some pretty cool things with it. The other thing that it also will do is the following. Let's get a strip of any kind. Let's go block a coal strip. And let's place it down here, 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 and here. Now, you can see that, in fact, these, if I do this and that, and let's do some of this and some of that, let's go button, button, button. that all these buttons will independently, oh, that's right, this needs to be attached. You notice that all these buttons will actually oh, it don't work that way. I forgot it needs to work this way. I'm a noob. As I was trying to say, before you rudely did not work, was that all these buttons will actually independently turn on this block. So that can add in some very interesting wire mechanics. The next thing you could also actually do is the following. So let's just break all these, and we'll show you something else you could do. Ooh, I'm breaking the landscape. I'm breaking the landscape. Mayday, mayday. I need sand. Sand. And let's just do that, and that. So you're probably wondering, well, why the hell are you doing this? Well, it's because what I want to do is show you the bundled cable. Now, to make a bundled cable, all you need is various colors of insulated cable and 4-string. Pretty simple, right? Wait to see what it does. Oh, that's correct. So the uninsulated cable will not connect to bundle. So I need to go get some other colors. So let's get a purple. And now let's connect pink in, white in, and continue the bundled cable in. Now these also won't connect, so what you need to do is the following. So let's just mix it up for the sake of mixing it up. Let's go with some white on this side and some purple on this side. Let's leave it nighttime for now. Actually, no. Daytime. Kill some things. You'll notice that now it's all jungled up and it's going through this one bundled cable. Well, that's because in this one line, I can now have 16 different colors of cable. So 16 different signals running through the same line. That's really powerful. I mean, look here. So this one is purple. So purple. Purple works. Pink. Pink works. Blue. It all works. Because what it does is it sees that these colors right here coincide with this color. So it knows that if I'm going to transmit possibly 4 different signals all at the same time, they need to go to 4 different areas. So it just sends all the signals down here, and it knows that, oh, wait, purple goes this way. So I need to use the purple signal and go this way. And then it knows that pink goes straight, so it goes straight, and then white comes this way. So it's really powerful for really compact builds. And it gets even more powerful when you actually end up dyeing the bundled cable, which you can do. In the following here, look, see, yellow bundled cable. It requires a sapling or any dye and a piece of string. Now, when you get the bundled cable, you're going to notice that first they will connect to other cables, other bundled cables that aren't dyed. But if I get another color, I have yellow, I get lime. Oh, that's yellow. I get lime. They won't connect, but I could technically connect these all 16 colors of insulated cable to each one of these two lines. Now I can have 32 lines going through 32 signals going through two lines. 25 blocks that way. Or, sorry, 255 blocks that way. That's insane. That's more signals than most. You can turn most supercomputer ideas that people make with vanilla redstone and microsize it. Turn it freaking tiny, compact into a cube the size of maybe a chunk, maybe less, based off of this mechanic. It is very powerful, very cool, and yeah, it's just great for people that like to do really complicated technical builds using redstone and want to have the ability to go up walls. But now you're probably asking yourself, well, JT, I don't want to just go up a wall. I just want to bring a cable straight up. I don't have to force myself to just use a wall. I don't mind having a messy basement. What do I do? Turtle framed wires. They are also framed. Bundled cable requires very specifically oak wood strips. No BOP, no spruce, no twilight forest wood, no birch, no silverwood, no great wood, oak. That needs to change, and my cat is meowing. I apologize for that. But that needs to change very soon, in my opinion. There should be a config to allow you to run various different kinds of things. And I'm trying to get my cat to stop meowing. She misses her brother. Cute little kitty cat. So, in my opinion, there needs to be a configuration to add in BOP wood strips, to add in any other color wood strip in this recipe. But that's up to me. If you guys have a tree farm and you have a metric boatload of oak wood, go nuts. Uh, Also, this is actually the oak wood strips from. Yeah, the oak wood strips from the actual logs, not the planks. So let's just grab a couple. Let's just grab that one, and that one, and let's grab one more color, two more colors. Framed, a white, and a magenta. So now, looky. It places itself kind of like. Oh, that's gonna get annoying. Can I place? Can I put a lever behind you? Showing you sequencer 3. Nope. Okay. Didn't plan this one through. This noise. So the way they place is very similar to just standard pipe. You could also cover this using the Forge MultiPart covers, and you can see that they will connect based off of the same mechanics as normal wires. So let's put a bundle. A bundle cable looks weird. Let's put a bundled cable here, and then let's put, see, insulated, but these two will connect like so. I'm making a mess because it's fun. See, that will connect and that won't connect. So you see all the points where this can in fact connect. And just go straight up. Now the cool thing is, I don't know if this will work. No, okay. I was really hoping that would work. I'm sad. So they will not connect to other forms of cable, including, I would have to assume, bundled. But we will test. Yeah, so they won't. That's something else I feel that should change. You should be able to connect to multiple areas depending on what you require. So these will go straight up into the air, zigzag, do whatever you need to do. These will snake up walls and go on floors. So these are your cable options to create very compact, minuscule builds, all with the power of redstone. Bing. Okay, so enough of these. Let's delete all of these, including these. And we'll get into the bread and butter, that is, the logic gates. I will not go into detail on how these logic gates are used. As I said before, I don't know what most of these do. They'll have really cool names. um, these are what make a lot of people need to build in normal vanilla redstone. These compact into one block spaces that can go on walls. Yep. Oh, and why you need the screwdriver. I will show you. Hang screwdriver. Flip it around. Because there's various either options of redstone coming in or out based off of the specific setting, the specificness of each gate. So we're just going to run right through them and tell you which one of them all are. So here is the OR gate. If you know what an OR gate is, you know what an I do. Here's a NOR gate, the NOT gate, an AND gate. I've used AND gates before. They're pretty cool. A NAND gate, so not quite not AND gate, not quite an AND gate. An XOR gate, an XNOR gate, the buffer gate, the multiplexer. I don't think that's multiplexer gate. Yeah, when I call that a gate. Sorry. Don't look at that mistake. The multiplexer, the pulse former, their version of the repeater, which looks way cooler and does similar things. The randomizer, which is pretty cool. The RS latch, a toggle latch, which is a T flip-flop. Transparent latch, I don't got a single clue what this thing even does. The light sensor, which is fairly obvious. The rain sensor, which will detect when it's raining. A timer, which I have used so many times before. A sequencer, which I feel I need to kind of delve into myself to figure out what this does, because I think this would be kind of cool. Same thing with the counter. It has a similar system. The state cell. Synchronizer. A bus transceiver. And then we got the cells, so a null cell, an invert cell, a buffer cell, the comparator, so their version of the comparator, and an AND cell. Now, for all of these cells, you're going to require very specific items, and I'll show you right now inside of NEI which one of all these items you will require. So first, circuit plate. Oh, well, how about I just do this recipe. You all know how to make a circuit plate based on what I've already showed you. Same thing with the conductive. There's a wired plate, which requires red alloy wire. There's a bundled plate, which requires a bundled cable, and a circuit plate. The anode, which is the same recipe as it used to be, cathode, a pointer, which is the same as a cathode, with a smelted piece of stone, very specific. The silicon chip, which is 3 plates and a infused silicon. I'll get into that in a little bit. Energized silicon, which will give you the energized silicon chip. And the platform chip, which is 2 wired, 2 sticks, and 3 circuits. Now, how you get the other items. So here's a boule. You need a sandy coal compound, which you use a block of coal and 8 sand. So it's a little bit expensive, but each one of these silicone boules and a diamond saw, must be a diamond saw, will net you 8. So for 8 sand and 9 coal, you can net 8 silicon. And to get the infused, you use the red silicon compound, which is silicon and 8 redstone. And the energized silicon compound is a glowing silicon compound, which is 8 glowstone dust and a silicon cell. Now, the other thing I will go into detail with is how these are made, right? How all the other, how the gates are made, and a couple other items I haven't gone into quite yet. So let's just get on into it right now. So here's all the gates. This is the OR gate, requires 2 cathodes, 4 circuit plates, 3 conductive plates. The NOR gate requires an anode instead of, or what was it on top? So it requires an anode instead of the 2 cathodes, same recipe. The NOT gate requires 3 cathodes, an anode, a conductive plate, and 4 circuits. AND gate required 2 anodes, 4 cathodes, a conductive plate, and 2 circuits. The NAND gate requires 3 anodes, 3 cathodes, 2 circuit plates, and a conductive plate. The XOR gate requires conductive plates, anodes, cathodes. XNOR requires an additional anode instead of a conductive plate. The buffer plate requires 2 cathodes, 2 anodes, 3 conductive plates, and a circuit plate. The multiplexer requires anodes, cathodes, circuit plate, and a conductive plate. Pulse former, again, 3 anodes, 3 cathodes, 2 conductive plates, and a circuit plate. The repeater requires 2 cathodes, 2 anodes, 4 circuit plates in a very particular pattern. I've never seen this before, but it's very specific, and a conductive plate. The randomizer is where you will first see the energized silicone chip. You will require 3 of these, 4 conductive plates, and 2 circuit plates. RS latches cathode, cathode, conductive plate, anode, circuit plate. The toggle latch will require a lever, 2 cathodes, 2 circuit plates, and 2 conductive plates. Transparent latch requires a whole bunch of cathodes, a single anode, 2 conductive plates, and a circuit plate. The light sensor does require lapis lazuli. It will not use the blue stained sapling in this recipe. So you will need those, 5 circuit plates and a conductive plate. The rain sensor requires slime balls instead of the lapis. A timer requires a pointer, cathode, anode, same recipe as it's been before in RP2. Sequencer requires a pointer, 4 cathodes, and some circuit plates. The counter requires 2 cathodes, a pointer, 2 conductive plates, and 4 circuit plates. A state cell is where you're going to be using the silicone chip, and it will require a pointer, cathode, anode, 2 conductive plates, and 3 circuits. A synchronizer will also use the silicon chips, but it'll also use a cathode, 5 conductive plates, and an anode. The bus transceivers, we're going to see the bundled plates and alongside the silicon chips, and required 6 bundles, 2 silicon, and a circuit. The null cells, we're going to see the platform plate being used alongside most of the other cells. We required the wired plates and circuit plates. Invert is similar, except there's a cathode at the bottom. Buffer has 2 cathodes at the bottom. A comparator similar to the normal vanilla redstone comparator will require nether quartz. Also require conductive plates, 2 circuit plates, and a cathode. And the AND cell requires 2 wired, 2 conductive, 3 cathode, and a circuit plate. Those are all the plates, or all the, uh, I forgot the name already. Gates. These are all the logic gates. As I said, I will not go into detail. If you wish to see how they work, download the mod yourself. So, some of the items I haven't gone through yet are the following. Draw plate is the same as the old diamond draw plate. If you don't know what it is, it does require a block of iron post, for them to be specific, and a block of diamond panel. It lasts forever. Honestly, for what you need to use it, for the certain items that you need with it, unless you don't have a really effective string farm, it's really not one of those things you need to use, at least yet. It may come a time where you do need to use these, but we'll see. Next is the white backpack, similar to the old school backpack without less of the game-breaking glitches. Requires woven cloth, and it does require a piece of dye. If I'm not mistaken, it will also, you can dye any other color backpack with the also stain saplings. That's all we need. And to make the woven cloth is just sticks and string. Next is the motor. The motor requires iron, stone, redstone, and copper coils, and currently has no use. May have a use one day, we don't know yet. But to make the copper coil, draw plate, piece of copper. To make an iron coil, same system. To make a gold coil, same system. There is no current use for the golden coil, or none that I know of. And also you can make a sail with the woven cloth. Again, no real use yet unless they plan on making you out to make sailboats. And then for the wool gin is one of the only uses for the iron coil, and the wool gin will let you make string out of any colored wool. Yeah, it's not really worth it for what you need to get the diamonds. Unless you plan on making a metric boatload of string, or somehow creating a mod that integrates this in Turtles and make them automated. uh, but that's pretty much it for Project Red. Few things that we've noticed that I've said that I would like to see implemented and changed would be that these connected into each other. That's probably pretty much about it. Oh, more uses for the other items, but I'm guessing that will come in due time. ChickenBones and Mr. TJP are very busy people, uh, needing to worry about various other mods, I'm assuming. So only time will tell when we see the next update of Project Red. What will be added? What will be removed? What will be changed? We don't know. Only they know until we get the next download. But I do recommend you guys download this if you guys are very nostalgic for Red Power 2 and you want it in your 1.6.4 world. Download this mod. It gives you all the nostalgia you need. It gives you all the old world gen you need, and it works beautifully with many other mods. As you can tell from my own pack, I'm currently running this with various other mods, and it is working swimmingly together. So that's pretty much all there is to say about Project Red. So I'm going to call this an episode. So I'm going to thank you guys all for watching. You guys know the drill by now. Post a comment if you guys want to see any other mods that you want me to do a mod review spotlight on. Also, don't forget to leave a follow or, subscribe as well. Check me out on Twitter, twitter.com/jthe111. So I'll just see you guys next time. Until then, Stay frosty.